One of the things that helped me was that I was not afraid to ask for help. You know, so if you were my boss, I would just come to you and say, so how do I do this? You know, how do I do that? How can I do this better? And if I had an idea, I'd come and say, you know, I was thinking, you know, sometimes maybe it can't be done because, you know, sometimes youthful exuberance, you would, you know, so that was helpful. And that has been helpful to me throughout my life. You know, I think I have always sought a clearer understanding of what I'm supposed to do and not being afraid to also suggest other ways in which I think work can be done. So I think this interpersonal relationship, this human relationship has been helpful. Bosses are not enemies. Bosses are not enemies. I think when you get into a job, it is good to relate well to the people around you, both your juniors and your superiors. It is very important because, again, let's talk community. You know, you need to see yourself as part of the whole. And when you see yourself like that, I know that when we were growing up, we were made to feel that if somebody is your senior and so on, you have to have a certain deference. But deference does not mean you cannot relate to the person. Deference means respect. You respect the person. And there's nothing wrong in, you know, really creating a relationship. You know, there's something that I don't like very much, and I don't think it's going to help us very much. You know, we tend to see our boss as our father.
Okay.
Which is very wrong.
So we shouldn't see our bosses as our fathers. We shouldn't see them as enemies too.
No. They are not your father. They are superiors. You know, because when you try and push the father-mother relationship, you sort of relate it to your own experience. So if your father is not a very nice person, then your father in the office cannot be nice.
Cannot be a nice person too.
You know, if your mother is very lax and would give you everything, then that's what your female boss is supposed to do for you.
Well, that's what brings about the sense of entitlement. You feel, okay, my boss is supposed to go this extra mile.
Exactly.
And it all,
you know, and as a child, I'm supposed to depend entirely on my father. You know, and that we need to unlearn. We need to unlearn some of those things and see our jobs from a more objective perspective. Because you go to the job to also offer something. You go there to offer something. And your superior is somebody who's been there before you.
Before you, yes.
And understands a few more things, but ought not to be averse to new ideas that you will bring. So if your superior is also a very creative and willing person, then the ideas you bring, so long as you don't try and force it, exactly. Yeah, you think that me, I know computers. I call myself a BBC, you know, and I'm always asking people to help me with my laptop, with my phone. I don't mind, you know. I mean, I didn't grow up with these
that,
things,
yes.
You know, so I don't mind. But the fact that you know those things, that's not me that you know everything. So it's the balance between one. I'm not entitled to anything. I am there to offer something in return for the money that I get paid. I must have loyalty to the organization because I believe in it enough to want to work there. And I ought to believe in its growth, expansion, development. You know, I need to have that kind of loyalty. And loyalty will always help me to offer something more than maybe what I'm even required to do. Because when the organization expands and grows, I benefit from it. You know, I benefit from it. I can't take myself out of it and say, no. You can't do that.
This is YFM.